Right, it is match day 2 and it's the first one at Meadowbank, Dorking Wanderers against Hampton and Richmond. Mark, how's your week been since we spoke at Chippenham? How's training and how's the squad generally?
Yeah, like squad's a bit sketchy, to be honest. I think we've got a few boys we would like to be fit. Niall and Dan Pybus, in particular. Obviously, Louis Annesley, we've kind of wrote him off a little bit. But all three of them will be in training within a couple of weeks.
Okay.
So it's not going to be an eternity. It's not, which is good. But it's been a good week. The boys are great. They train hard. The coaches are great. They get a lot into them. We're always organised for games. We can turn up really, and when we turn up, like the work is done really in terms of the planning. It's been a good week.
I noticed when we spoke last week after Chippenham, you mentioned Jordan Norville-Williams having an injury, and then that wasn't mentioned in your update this week, but I've just seen him walking out the ground. He's not involved particular, I don't imagine then.
No, we must have forgot to cover injuries. That'd be Eddie Walbank's fault, who's behind the camera. Nothing's ever Eddie's fault, by the way. It's really weird, isn't it? Because I think we're so accustomed to always having injuries. I think genuinely we just accept we go without them, where a lot of clubs will be. Unfortunately, he is going to be out for some time. It's essentially a ruptured quad. He's going to be out 4-6 weeks. Which is really disappointing because it's not the first injury he's had. He had an injury similar time last year.
Yeah.
And being candid, I'm concerned that he doesn't seem to be able to rack up a run of games. And I think you need players on the pitch when you're trying to compete and be competitive. So, but obviously Jordan will work hard to get back where he wants to be. Jordan would be the furthest one out. Annesley. A couple of weeks. Niall and Pybus sooner.
Yeah, that's obviously disappointing because he does add that balance, doesn't he, down the left-hand side and being naturally left-sided. So how have you lined up for this then today then? Is it really with kind of what you've got, or is there a bit more to it than that? Obviously, you mentioned last week as well that Charlie Carter was struggling with a knee injury, but presumably he's come through that all right this week and starts today.
He's basically got his knee swells up. It's not ideal. At 2-0 up, you'd want him off the pitch with a game on Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
But he's so important to us. Talisman, captain, scores goals. I mean, the last fixture, hat-trick in 10 minutes or 6 minutes. So look, we're nursing that. The lineup it's quite a familiar lineup, really. Jimmy comes in for Denon.
Okay.
Purely based on how we're going to play. I think Jimmy knows the role better than where Den is at the moment, but Den is we're really pleased with Denon. That's where we are. Hampton are they're in that position where they're rebuilding their team, and that makes it a bit of an unknown, to be honest. And I think you take that. I think you could be playing one of the more established sides today, and you'd be looking at whatnot. But I think it gives you a chance to focus on what you do. So that's what we're going to do today.
Yeah, I know that obviously as well. Not just today, Tuesday night as well, but I know that you kind of respect and get on with a lot of the managers, but when we've spoken and stuff like that, you seem to have a lot of time and respect for Alan Julian here, and then obviously Scott on Tuesday night. Is that the case?
Yeah, big time. You do as managers, because it's like managers tend to just have the higher up you go, like literally, the more respect between managers. I think lower down the leagues it's different. You get a few heroes and that whatnot, but I think everyone appreciates at this level it's a hard gig, and even whether you're the owner manager trying to with the rest of the staff raise income to take the club forward, or whether you're Alan trying to keep Hampton going on a modest budget, to say the least. Everybody's got Scotty at Slough, very similar. If you take Scotty out of Slough, Jules out of Hampton, it's a tough job for somebody else. For clubs like that, being really honest with their resources, if they had different managers, they could easily be step 3 and maybe never come back. So, so I've got a lot of respect for that, obviously. And Alan's always, apart from not wanting to play at Christmas last year, he's got a great deal of respect from me.
And there's a couple of familiar faces. Obviously, they've got David Rodari in their squad, and also I've noticed one of the coaching staff, Ruben, who was the B team manager as well.
Yeah, Ruben Guardiola's here. And David, remember David? He didn't know what a stretcher. Didn't know what a stretcher was. I said, "You got to come off on a stretcher, David." He went, "It's a stretcher." Hopefully we put him on a stretcher today. No, I'm joking, David. He's a lovely boy. He was he played a little part here.
Yeah.
And he was here when we won the league,
Yeah.
which is great. So yeah, he's a top lad. Really like him. But yeah, look, I mean, it's going to be. I think bottom line is going to this match at home. We're favourites.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to be favourites a lot down here. But it's football, and the reason it's so popular, the reason football is so popular is that you never quite know what's going to happen next.
No.
I'd like to say we get a clean sheet and we'll get a routine 3-0 James, and after the game we're all heading up to the newly refurbished Super Dish, which is called something else. But
Yeah,
I think
Marino's Fish Bar.
I'm going to keep calling it Super Dish until they change it back.
No, yeah, we always will. In Dorking,
Yeah, exactly that.
places like
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's been refurbished. Okay, so I am looking to get a win and head up there. That is my plan.
Excellent.
I know people are probably looking at me thinking
I'm sure they've missed you.
that I've had too many sausage and butter. I do accept that. It's post-COVID. But yeah, well, me and Mickey Dan,
Yeah, you're going to go
me
on
and
there.
Mickey fucking Dan, went out this morning for a run-in. One wants to join our running club. It is Saturday mornings in Ockley in Surrey. New running club.
Right.
Yeah, we've done 7k sprint.
Did you?
No, it was 7k. But it wasn't a sprint. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. And hopefully we have a lot of fun here this afternoon, and we'll speak to you after the game. Thanks,
Cheers,
Mark.
James. Thanks,
Cheers,
mate.